I used to believe that fame could fix everything, not for vanity. I just wanted to be seen, needed it. I was drowning in debt, ignored, invisible. Fame, I thought, would pull me out. Once I was big enough, the brands would come, the money would follow, and everything would finally be okay. The first taste came from a site called Starlinks. Realistic followers, intelligent engagement, become who the world wants to follow. I bought the basic package. By morning, I had 150,000 followers. My notifications were on fire. Comments like, "Queen behavior," "Obsessed with your vibe," "Where have you been all my life?" I cried. I felt seen. Mia, my best friend, messaged me.
"This is dangerous."
She warned.
"It's fake and it'll swallow you."
I replied, "Just wait. When I blow up, I'll take care of both of us. Promise." She didn't push again. Not yet. I kept buying. 500,000, 1,000,000, 5, 10. I watched my follower count rise like a heartbeat on life support. But offline, I was still nobody. At fashion events, no one recognized me. At restaurants, no one cared about my 10 million followers. No brand replied to my emails. Then came the skeptics. Who even is this girl? How does she have more followers than Taylor Swift? Bot-farmed fraud. Sad. And the exposés. YouTube videos tearing me apart, showing my engagement spikes, fake comments, rented admiration. Then, I saw her. Mia. In one of the interviews. Sitting across from a podcaster.
"She's not a bad person, but she's addicted. I tried to help. She pushed me away."
I blocked her that night. Traitor! I spat. You'll regret this when I'm really famous. That's when I bought Starlink's Platinum. It included high-grade interaction, AI fan chat, even mannequins with embedded camera lenses to simulate real-life events. I rented a warehouse, built a stage, hung banners with my name in gold, dressed 200 mannequins like adoring fans. My fan meeting streamed live. The night of the event, I wore white, lit just right. I stepped on stage, heart pounding. 146,000 people watching. Hearts floated up like glitter. Comments poured in. "We love you. She's glowing. Fan meet of the year," I sang. I smiled. I thanked them. You believed in me when no one else did. This moment, it's everything. And then, a click. A metal door creaked at the back of the warehouse. Footsteps, slow, heavy. A man stepped into the light. Bald, broad-shouldered, black shirt soaked in sweat. In his hand, a thick steel pipe. He walked down the center aisle, passing rows of mannequins whose empty stares never wavered. My voice faltered. Who are you?" He smiled like someone who'd waited for this moment a long time.
"Time's up, sweetheart. You owe us."
"I'm live streaming," I stammered. "There are thousands watching." He glanced at the camera and snorted.
"They're bots. Just like your fame. You paid for this fantasy and now reality's collecting."
I froze. Then he swung the pipe. Crack. A mannequin's head flew clean off, bouncing off the stage. Wham! Another was crushed at the chest, splitting open in a burst of stuffing and plastic. Thud. One was kicked off the platform, its stiff limbs crashing to the floor like a fallen god. I stumbled back, tripping over fallen legs and shattered illusions.
"You worship this,"
he shouted, smashing another.
10 million lies wearing lipstick.
I screamed into the mic. "Someone help me. Please, call the police." The chat exploded. Bro is unhinged. This is insane content, OMG. Scripted or real? He laughed.
They love the drama. Keep screaming.
He grabbed a banner with my face and ripped it in half. Then he turned to me.
You bought love. Now you pay in flesh.
I tried to run. My heel snapped. I hit the floor. The pipe came down crack into my shin. Pain exploded through me. I screamed until my throat bled. 172,000 watching. Wait! Was that real? Bruh, she's crying for real. This live stream is wild. I crawled to the camera. Please. I whispered, barely able to breathe. Someone. He raised the pipe again. But suddenly, a voice cut through the chaos.
Get away from her!
From the shadows, a figure sprinted across the warehouse. Fast, fierce, unstoppable. She gripped a broken mannequin's arm like a club, and with a roar I'd never heard from her before, she swung it with all her strength. I blinked through the blood in my eyes. Mia. She sprayed something into his face. Pepper spray. Then shoved him back with everything she had. Sirens wailed in the distance. She dropped to her knees beside me, arms shaking.
I told you this would destroy you.
Then darkness swallowed me whole. I woke up in a hospital, leg in a cast, phone gone, channel deleted. Mia was asleep in the chair next to me. She had paid off the debt. All of it. Why? I asked, tears streaming down my face. After everything I said? She squeezed my hand.
Because I was the only one really watching you.
Now, I have 43 followers. Just Mia, a few old classmates, my cousin, a girl from high school I barely remember. No brands, no blue check. But I still post. I sing sometimes. I talk about healing, about being honest, about pain. The comments are few, but they're real. You're brave. I'm glad you're okay. This version of you feels human. And for the first time in my life, that's enough.
Ballerina cappuccina.
Tung 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 sahur. Tralalero tralala.
Ballerina cappuccina.
It was one of those days where the air itself felt heavy. Deadlines, coffee jitters, and that migraine that never really goes away. I was exhausted, mentally fried, when I looked up from my screen and nearly screamed. Sam, my co-worker, was standing there smiling. Or something that used to be Sam. Usually pristine and polished, today she looked like a puppet half alive. Her face was pale and waxy. Her eyes were swallowed in deep, dark rings, and her forehead swollen, as if something inside was pressing outward.
Hello, tralalero, tralala.
She chirped in a sing-song voice that didn't belong to her. I blinked, startled. What? She giggled, her expression twitching between joy and emptiness.
Ugh, you're such a fossil. Haven't you seen the brain rot universe? It's trending on TikTok.
What's it about? I asked. She tilted his head.
It's just brain rot. It doesn't mean anything. That's why it's perfect.
And then she laughed, loud and broken, before walking away. I wish I could say that was the end of it. But it was only the beginning. The next day, more co-workers had the look. Sunken eyes, pale skin, puffy heads like overripe fruit. They wandered the office, muttering absurd phrases.
It's tongue sahur time.
Do you want to try ballerina cappuccino?
And every time they laughed together, giggles like wind chimes in a hurricane. I didn't understand what was happening. I stopped getting Slack messages, emails, eye contact. No one spoke to me unless I repeated their nonsense. It was like they spoke a new language, and I was suddenly illiterate. Outside the office, it was worse. Random people on the street babbled the same phrases. Whole cafes filled with chuckling strangers, nodding at videos in silence. I felt like a relic, forgotten by time. And still, no one could tell me what brain rot actually was. I found out the hard way. On my way home from the supermarket, I saw a man standing under a flickering street lamp. He was laughing hysterically, phone in hand, eyes bloodshot. The air around him felt wrong. Then the screen of his phone glitched, and something crawled out. A creature, half smoke, half flesh, launched at his face. He screamed, tried to pull it off, but it clung like a parasite. I ran to help, but the thing was already latched onto his skull. He twisted, convulsed. The creature breathed, pulsing like it was drinking him, siphoning blood, thoughts, sanity. When it was done, he collapsed. And then he rose, grinning.
Liri lilarila, cappuccino assassino.
He said softly. I stumbled back, shaking. That was the moment I realized brain rot was real, not just a trend, a parasite spreading like a virus, using content as its doorway. After that night, I saw it everywhere. People collapsed at work. Some clawed at their heads, trying to peel the creature off as it wriggled under their scalp. I tried CPR on one guy, but the monster had already sucked out whatever made him human. It slipped out of him with a wet hiss and vanished, like smoke dissolving in sunlight. The doctor later said he'd suffered a stroke, that his brain had deteriorated from overuse, lack of sleep, screen exposure. His brain had literally rotted. Brain rot. I tried to defend myself. I deleted all my apps, locked my phone away, covered my windows, but it didn't matter. The brain rot videos no longer needed your permission. They played in waiting rooms, office lobbies, subway ads. Sometimes I could hear the audio before I even saw a screen echoing in the back of my skull. Even without looking, I could feel the presence. I fought them off for days. I saw the creatures, swatted them away when they tried to leap at me. But no matter how many I escaped, they just kept multiplying. They were evolving, feeding, and growing bigger. One day, I was surrounded, cornered in an alleyway behind the office, flanked by people I once knew, now brainwashed shells of themselves. Their eyes bulged, their skin sagged like wet cloth, but their mouths, smiling, endlessly smiling. They spoke in unison.
Do you want to try ballerina cappuccino? Tra-la-la, tra-la-la, saha time.
I covered my ears, shut my eyes. Didn't work. They grabbed me, held me down. I felt fingers pry my eyelids open. Someone shoved a phone inches from my face. The screen flickered. I screamed. Too late. It came. The creature tore through the screen like a riptide and latched onto my face. It was sticky and hot, like liquid panic, forcing itself through my skin, drilling into my skull. I writhed. They held me tighter. The audio looped. The images flashed. Bright, dumb colors and deformed faces dancing over meaningless music. It was torture. It was hollow. And then Something shifted. I stopped fighting. Suddenly it felt nice, light, funny. The sounds weren't meaningless anymore. They were funny. I smiled, I giggled. Do, din, 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 do. I felt the rocks settle into my brain like a warm bath. The pain vanished. Everything made sense now. Ballerina cappuccina. Tralalero tralala. I looked up at the others, my new family, and we laughed together. And now I see you. You're still watching, aren't you? Go ahead. Scroll down. Just once more. Let brain rot in.
You probably know me, or used to know me. The body positivity girl, the one who kept it real. People liked how thin I was, and praised me for listening to my body, while they were still struggling to accept theirs. Then they say I'm a fraud. They say my message is twisted, that I hide cruelty behind pastel filters and cheerful affirmations. But I've always been honest. Only eat when you're truly hungry. That was my mantra, my truth. It kept me disciplined, controlled, pure. But something has changed. One morning, I woke up to a mess in the kitchen. The fridge door was wide open, milk dripping down the shelves, half-eaten apples, protein bars torn from their wrappers and crumbled on the floor. My jaw tightened. I lived alone, and I hadn't touched any of that. Was someone in my apartment? The idea of an intruder terrified me. Someone watching me, entering while I slept. I couldn't sleep the next night, so I ordered a home security camera and set it up in the kitchen. The next morning, my stomach turned before I even looked at the footage. More crumbs. A banana peel in the sink. The smell of peanut butter lingering in the air. I opened the app and pressed play. What I saw made my blood run cold. It was me, stumbling into the kitchen at 3:12 a.m., barefoot, eyes open but empty. I looked, possessed. I grabbed whatever I could, cold chicken, spoonfuls of almond butter, even raw oats straight from the container. My mouth moved too fast, too wide. I chewed like I'd been starving for days. I didn't remember any of it. The next day, I threw away everything. Every snack, every spice, every emergency granola bar. I left only a single container with a carefully measured 300-calorie meal. That was enough. That was all I needed. I would not let my body betray me again. But it did. The next morning, I woke up with threads on my tongue. At first, I thought it was a bad dream, but my pillows were torn, foam and feathers scattered across the room. The edge of the sofa had bite marks. Actual bite marks. My teeth ached. My gums were bleeding. I watched the footage with shaking hands. There I was again, wandering the apartment. But this time, I didn't go to the kitchen. I tore through my closet, biting fabric, chewing on tank tops and socks. Then I turned to the couch, ripping at the seams, shoving stuffing into my mouth with terrifying hunger. I fell to the ground and dry heaved, but I couldn't stop watching. I called Jay, my boyfriend. I hadn't planned to tell him, but I was scared. I think I'm sleep eating. He came over that night, holding my trembling hands, promising,
I'll stay with you. We'll get through this.
I slept beside him that night. For the first time in days, I felt safe. Until I woke up in a hospital bed. White lights, white sheets, white walls. Then the door opened. Jay wasn't there. One officer stepped inside. Behind him, a doctor with a clipboard and tired eyes.
You're awake.
The officer said, "Where is he? Where's Jay?" They exchanged glances.
We need to show you something.
It was night vision footage from Jay's phone. He must have been filming me to help figure out what was happening. The angle was shaky, but clear enough. I watched as I sat up in bed. Jay stirred, whispered something. I turned to him, then lunged. My limbs flailed, sharp and unnatural. My mouth latched onto his arm, tearing into flesh. He screamed, kicked, tried to run. I dragged him down. Blood. So much blood. He broke free and locked himself in the bathroom, phone still recording. He was crying, begging someone to come.
Please! She's not herself!
I stopped watching. I couldn't breathe. No! That's not me! That's not me! But it was. They found him. Alive. Barely. He called the police. Said I tried to eat him. Eat him. They placed me under psychiatric observation. Apparently, it's called nocturnal sleep-related eating disorder. But no one had ever seen a case like this. The doctor said the level of psychological suppression I'd maintained, denial of hunger, hatred of weakness, could have mutated my subconscious into something monstrous. That's why they keep me here now, strapped to a bed. No mirrors, no utensils. My meals are liquid, monitored, rationed. They don't want me to chew, but I still feel it. The need, the craving, not for food. I've tried screaming, reasoning. I tell them I'm better, that I've learned, that I'll eat real food now. I'll eat cake, I'll eat bread, I'll eat anything, please, just... But when the lights go off, it happens again. At night, the hunger takes over. The straps strain against my skin. My jaw clenches. My mouth waters. The nurses say I growl in my sleep. One of them swore they saw me smile while dreaming. I used to say, only eat when you're truly hungry. Now, I'm starving.